Welcome everyone, it's Glacier Guy and Rock the Glacier as always. We're on day 3. It just concluded of the 7-day build and paint challenge. We got all of the models assembled except for, of course, the tank tracks, which we did base coat. We primed them all in an ultra flat black, and the one we used is this ultra flat black from Tallarn. This camo worked great, which is a problem because I've used the ultra flat before in both black and the green, and I've used some of the sand colors before, and they turned out just fine. Now we're monsoon season over here, so the problem is it's dry in the morning for the most part, and then it's really humid in the evening, and then we get rainstorms or lightning storms. They might not even rain anywhere near my house, but it's super muggy outside, which is just unfortunate. And so I pulled out the sand color of this, and at first it was working just fine. You know, it was doing all right, and I don't know if it's because maybe the paint in the can was still cold from being inside. But and of course I wasn't wearing a protective mask because I was outside, so I got a little bit of the paint dust in my nose, and so that's why I'm itching my nose. But I used an entire can on the 2 Demolisher tank commanders, and then on the Manticore and the 3 Chimeras, and this is kind of where I'm a bit upset with myself. If you can see this, now this is obviously a GW model, but the rider, she's from Victoria Miniatures, and I'm just a bit disappointed because I got what appears to be a humidity issue with the can, because it was going on fairly smoothly, and then I think the can just heated up, the air temperature was too high, and we got some humidity. And the dusting on the tanks themselves isn't that big of a deal because it's a desert scheme, and they're going to get really dusty and speckled and pockmarked and everything. And so that wasn't the issue, but getting on the character model themselves, it really bumps me out. And I have a whole bunch of other guard that look the same, because when I primed those in white many years ago, and they're still primed in white, it was just too humid and the paint was not perfect. And I've noticed that any other color but black, any other can, whether it's primer or whether it's just an ultra flat, any other color besides black tends to not coat properly. It tends to always speckle, no matter if we're in the perfect temperature or not. It's always, black has never let me down, but every other color has let me down. And I was trying to go a little bit faster. I was trying to save myself a little bit of time, which I don't even know why. I saved myself essentially one whole step by not having to do white. Because what I normally do is base coat in black, and then I zenithal highlight in white, and then I base coat I zenithal highlight with the airbrush in white, and then I base coat in whatever color tan. So I was trying to skip a step and just go straight to base coating in tan, which would be Vallejo Air Khaki in this specific instance. And it didn't work out that well, as you might be able to see. And as you'll see. I'll just pick some models up. But and then what I did is I went to the hobby store because I had about an hour and a half left, and I was looking for a black. And so the hobby store nearest me, they don't, because I only have one. I only have about a half a can of this. I need at least 2 to 3 cans of this to really finish it off. And I didn't want to go to the store where this is. I probably could have just went to that store and been fine. But I really wanted a colored paint, and I kind of wanted a slightly nicer paint. And so I went and picked up some of this Vallejo hobby paint, which I went to the store looking for black, and they didn't have it, but they did have a desert yellow. And I was like, desert yellow's close enough, we'll make it work. And so I brought the Basilisk out. I came home, I had about 30, 40 minutes before 6 o'clock, and I started shooting it with the can, and of course it's not as bad. Well, I would say it's about equally as dusty as the Krylon can. So it's definitely just a humidity issue. And realistically, I just wanted to get the primer powdered on there so I could get the airbrush on there later. So now what I have to do is I have to go back with a heavy bristled brush and brush all of these down and then just hope the paint sticks, which it should stick to the little bit of primer that's on here, but it's not ideal, and it's not what I want to do. And unfortunately, I was gonna go a little bit past 6 o'clock just to get everything primed and to start with all these unprimed infantry models. But I was just getting frustrated, and I pulled one of the dumbest mistakes ever. I was priming outside, and I was like, it's too humid outside. Let's go inside. I know if I set up a quick painting booth in the bathroom where it's dry inside, we'll be fine. And so I started dusting, because I had these over halfway through. I started dusting the back ends of them, thinking maybe the drop in humidity and temperature in the house would save the paint. And it didn't really save the paint. So I'm kind of concerned that maybe it's actually the paint itself also that's not doing too well, and I kind of just wasted, $45 buying all the paint. I did get one can $10 off for I have a rewards point with a hobby store. But yeah, so I'm like, well, that's a bummer. So I have all this hobby color paint, which yeah, that's fun. I'm pretty sure it's just a humidity temperature issue realistically, and bringing the models in. So anyway, so I brought them into the bathroom, and I set up with a bunch of boxes, I set up a quick paint hood, and I had all the ventilation fans going in the bathroom. I even had the window open in the bathroom, and I was spraying. It wasn't ideal. It was too confined of a space. The fans in the bathroom weren't doing what they were supposed to. So after maybe like a minute of being in there and realizing that this was not ideally the most healthiest option, I shut it off. I was like, you know what, we're done for the day. We'll get these all primed up in the morning when the conditions are way more ideal. And I kind of feel bad for my cats because I was running around back and forth, and they were running past me, and they were chasing me around. And then so I started spraying in the bathroom. I'd even close the door, but I was like, this can't be good for them. And so I had to stop, mostly a little bit for my own health. One, it wasn't working great. Two, it's not a good idea in such a confined space. And it's just a hobby, and I didn't really need to rush it. I was being impatient. Most of the problem is I got an appointment tomorrow afternoon, so I'm losing like five whole hours of project time, and I was just trying to make up for it. And but that's what it is. And we have 3 basilisks left to prime, and then we have the infantry left to prime. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably prime them in black. I know I did just buy all this this tan color. I could test it out in the morning and see if it's working a little bit better, because it was definitely not working. It wasn't cooperating very well this evening. So I'll try it out to see if it works. But if not, we'll go with black, and we'll just have to start fresh tomorrow. But yeah, that's it, and hope you guys are enjoying the series, and let me know if if you got any other tips or whatever. But I definitely won't be priming inside the house again. Even though I did set a bunch of cardboard up, I wasn't getting any overspray. It was just just the smell and everything was just too much. So, all right, have a good one, and see you later.